The Chase Freedom Flex, one of the darlings of the credit card game. It's often praised for its ability to earn 5% cash back in rotating categories. But is all of the hype really justified, or is it actually overrated? In this episode of Who That Card For, we're going to evaluate the Chase Freedom Flex to help you determine if this card is worth it for you. Before we jump into things, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below and giving the video a like. And be sure to check out the links below to learn more about other credit cards. But now, let's jump into the video. Card overview. So first off, this card has a $0 annual fee. In terms of multipliers, it earns 5% back on travel booked through the Chase Travel Portal, 5% back on rotating quarterly categories up to $1,500 per quarter, 3% back on dining, 3% back on drugstore purchases, and 1% back on everything else. This 5% back on rotating categories is the superpower for the Chase Freedom Flex, as this is what differentiates it from the Chase Freedom Unlimited. 5% back is one of the highest multipliers that you will find, so to find a 5% multiplier in a no annual fee card is really powerful. In terms of other benefits, you will find that you have a 3-month complimentary Dash Pass subscription, and you'll also earn 5% cash back on Lyft rides through March 31st, 2025. And there's no need to mention downgrade paths for this card because it's already a no annual fee card. In terms of the rotating category calendar, this is a table with the last few rotating categories. You can find these historical categories online with a simple Google search. And for the last few years, one quarter will be gas, and a different quarter will be grocery stores, which are generally high spend categories. Now that you understand the basics of the card, how do you determine if it's actually for you? I wanted to go through my own experience with the card to hopefully help you analyze it for yourself. So for full transparency, I actually don't own this card yet. I plan to add it at some point in the future, but I've analyzed my own spending and determined that this card isn't a priority for me. I think it might be helpful to walk through how I evaluated the Chase Freedom Flex for myself, and hopefully this will give some insight into how you can further determine if this card is right for you. So this is an Excel sheet with the rotating quarterly categories since 2021. I highlighted the categories that I personally find useful in green, and then in the rightmost column, I estimated how much money I would actually spend in those categories for the quarter. As you can see, I really would never spend anywhere close to the maximum in most categories. Furthermore, this analysis was actually for the original Chase Freedom card, which is a Visa card. Since the Chase Freedom Flex is actually a MasterCard, I cannot use it at Costco, which is my primary grocery store that I utilize. Costco codes as wholesale clubs and not groceries. So for the Chase Freedom Flex, the only quarter that I would have maxed out would be 2024 Q2. So after analyzing my own spending, I determined that the Chase Freedom Flex really wasn't a priority for me. But it's still a no annual fee card with high upside and a great sign-up bonus. So I still plan to add it at some point down the road. Now though, let's hop into a general analysis for this card based on your goals in the credit card game and where you are in your credit card journey. First, we'll talk about your goals in the credit card game. Are you somebody who wants to earn as much cash back in your pocket as possible, or are you someone who wants to use your points to redeem for travel? These are broadly categorized into two teams, Team Cashback and Team Travel. Depending on your goals, it will change whether any given card is valuable to you or not. In terms of a pure cashback setup, the Chase Freedom Flex is a great credit card. As mentioned earlier, 5% back is really the highest multiplier you will find in most credit cards. This card's sign-up bonus is also great. The standard welcome offer is for $200 back after spending $500 in 3 months, but you can earn offers that will give you 5% back on groceries and gas in the first year. Also, the fact that this is a no annual fee card is crucial. Most cashback setups should aim to have no annual fees at all while maximizing multipliers. So for example, the American Express Gold Card earns 4x points on dining versus the Freedom Flex at 3x back. However, the Gold Card charges a $250 annual fee, so you would need to spend $25,000 in dining to make up for that 1x difference in points, just to make up for that annual fee. And yes, I know this example isn't exactly precise because of the cash out value of membership rewards points, but we will go over this more in depth in a future video. But it's important to realize that the annual fees can really set you back when you're earning just cash back. So if you're going with a pure cashback setup, the Chase Freedom Flex is likely a great card for you, given that the categories are useful for your spending habits. So for travel, the Chase Freedom Flex is also great. It claims that the multipliers earn cashback, but in reality, you earn Chase UR points, or Ultimate Rewards points. These UR points can be redeemed for travel for more than the base 1 cent per point by pairing with other Chase credit cards. So, for example, if you're able to get 2 cents per point, then that 5x multiplier really turns into 10x. Overall, though, the Chase Freedom Flex is also a great credit card for someone on team travel for the right person. And if you're running a hybrid setup of cashback and travel, then you can probably tell that the Chase Freedom Flex is a great card for you if you can utilize those 5% categories. You have the safe floor of a 1 cent per point if you just want cash back, and you have the ceiling of being able to book first-class flights or hotel suites via transfer partners. Just like with the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and really all Chase UR earning points, I highly recommend everybody to start with the Freedom cards if possible. It's important to analyze your spending though and see whether you would get more value from starting with the Chase Freedom Flex or the Chase Freedom Unlimited. In addition to your goals in the credit card game, we need to factor in what stage of the credit card journey you are at. The cards that beginners love may not be useful for experts, and there may be cards for experts that beginners should never get. So, if you're early in your credit card journey, the Chase Freedom Flex is a great card to get. Chase has some of the most generous sign-up bonuses, and you can also get them multiple times. So for both Freedom cards, you can get the sign-up bonus 24 months after receiving your last Chase Freedom bonus, as long as you don't currently hold that card. So again, the trick that many people do is product change or cancel their Chase Freedom Flex after 2 years so that they can apply for a new one and get a new sign-up bonus. Starting with Chase cards is also great because of the Chase 524 rule. And this rule just means that over any 24-month rolling window, if you have opened 5 or more personal cards and you try to apply for another Chase card, you will automatically be denied. And so because of this rule, you should open all of your Chase cards you want as early as you can so that you aren't locked out from the Chase ecosystem. With all that being said, I would highly recommend the Chase Freedom Flex for people early in their credit card journey if you find the rotating categories useful. For intermediates, the Chase Freedom Flex is still a great card if you maximize the rotating categories. Chase points are extremely desirable for even experts in the credit card game, and the Freedom Flex will often be your highest UR point earning card. If you're under Chase's 524 rules and you spend heavily in their rotating categories, I would recommend any intermediate to get this card. But if you're over 524 or don't really see yourself maximizing those rotating categories like I don't, then I would say this card is probably not for you. If you fall into the second camp, then the sign-up bonus is still probably worth it, but there may be other cards with higher sign-up bonuses that are more worth it by the time you're an intermediate. For advanced players in the credit card game, you'll find that opening no annual fee personal cards are not really worth it anymore. Why go for a 20,000 point sign-up bonus when there are cards like the Capital One Venture X that offer a 75,000 point standard sign-up bonus? If you make it to being an advanced player in the credit card game and you don't have the Chase Freedom Flex, then this card is definitely not worth it for you unless you really need a grocery or gas card and you manage to find the elevated sign-up bonus for 5% back on groceries and gas for the first year. Hopefully this video helps you determine if the Chase Freedom Flex is the right card for you. Be sure to comment down below your thoughts on the Chase Freedom Flex, along with where you think I came up with the idea for the name of this series. I'll be sure to heart the comments with who got it right. I'll also link a copy of my Excel sheet analysis below so you can fill it out with your own numbers to see if this card is for you. Thanks again for watching, and see you guys next time.